So, off the back of many tech layoffs, tens of thousands, I caught wind of an article referencing the way in which tech companies were treating the staff when it comes to perks.
All right.
To the point where, when I was reading it, it was almost like the staff are being babied. So, catered for. They don't have to pay for any food at all.
Oh, so these are like those top level perks. Yeah.
Travel to and from offices completely boxed off in the form of minibuses.
Yeah.
Things like, obviously, gyms on site, sushi bars, laundry services. The bigger players even having things like creches on site and things like that. I think, verging on getting to the point where they're almost trying to make it so comfortable that people don't have a differentiation between home and work.
What do you do if all of that was done at work? Like, what do you do when you get home at that point?
Well, you just sell your house and live at work, wouldn't you?
I definitely would.
But I think it comes, obviously, the expense of doing that at scale. And I'm talking, you've got Google have got 200,000 staff or something like that. And I think at their bigger campuses, you're talking tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Doing that scale every day, even just, let's take catering as an example. The cost to cater for 3 meals a day for that many people must be absolutely astronomical.
Are these perks still in existence, or are they reduced?
So I think these are getting all pulled back now, along with the redundancies.
It would be very difficult to sit back and watch if they were making people redundant and then still offering other people 3 meals a day. Yeah. Because I bet if you asked your staff, they'd be like, well, we'd rather people keep their jobs and leave some perks.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I think that a lot of them are being reined in, and that it's almost like the era of that tech bubble and the glamour that comes with working for a tech company at that scale is starting to wear off a little bit.
They're now well known for it, aren't they? Like, when you think of the big tech companies, that everybody knows the stories about getting free meals, about like sleep pods and all these like next level perks that are a little bit, I don't know if perk is the right word. It feels like it's way beyond that. It's like an extension of being in like a catered university. It
is. Ultimately, they're trying to create a campus, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where you just feel like it's a home away from home.
Everything's there.
But even at uni, you pay for your food.
Yeah, of course you do, yeah.
Or you perhaps you get it subsidised.
Yeah.
But you still pay for your food.
Yeah.
Whereas the extent that these companies are going to is just...
But these aren't people on bad wages either.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Like, it's quite a good industry to be in, to get quite a decent base level. Even if you're going in at start level, you get a fairly decent base level wage, and people like Google aren't paying people peanuts, are they?
No.
But I wonder if most people, if you put the option to them as to like, if you got rid of all these perks but had this much extra on top of your wage, but you had to cook your own meals at home, I wonder if people would take it or not.
Be interesting to see. I think when I compare like digital agencies, for example, and that culture of creating that environment, because it's a people business.
Yeah.
It does make me question what's realistic versus people's expectations. Because I think it's come up a few times. There was a conversation maybe a couple of months ago that I seem to recall on LinkedIn where someone was saying employers should pay for your lunch while you're on their time. And I was like, I get both sides.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't feel sustainable.
What would you take be on both sides for that?
Well, I kind of get where it might be applicable to cater for people's lunches, but I also get the cost side of it and the impact from a business standpoint, which is why I question the sustainability of it.
It's a weird thing to expect, because there are businesses where, but it tends to be places where you're doing, like, if you worked in a restaurant, you probably would get your lunch included as part of your shift, but you're also probably doing a stupid shift that isn't compatible with normal
Yeah. Well,
hours.
You're getting your food at your evening mealtime or whatever when you would be having your dinner.
Yeah, but I mean, you could still take a packed lunch, so it's not like it's somewhere where you couldn't physically take food in. So there is like, yeah, but I wouldn't say it's. I just think that's a bit weird to expect, to be honest.
I'd love to know or hear from people that have been in those environments and see what their actual genuine thoughts are about the level of perk
that actually comes under.
Yeah, and like, do they see it as super valuable? Do they take advantage of it? I wonder how much food wastage there is in a campus like that is catering for a certain amount of people, but yet how many people are actually taking them up on it?
Well, then, because there's a lot of people that will. Because obviously a lot of roles, even within these bigger tech companies, have also gone remote now. So also, like, how does that perk then apply to if you're working from home? Do you get money towards meals? Is it just when you're in the office? It's a bit of a weird one.
Big grey area.
But no, I can't see that ever being a necessity as a perk. Like, there's something, I suppose it could be quite a nice communal thing, and see how it would help within, like, you know, creating a bit of nice culture if everybody was going to eat like lunch together because they knew it was there and it's free. And like when we do like get like Deliveroo in, everyone does sit together and eat it, which I suppose is quite a nice thing. But every day is different.
Yeah, I think I see the value in it being a social event and bringing people together. But I can't help but think that catering for everybody daily just feels, from a business perspective, too far. Too much.
What else on the list? Laundry.
Laundry, yeah. I can see how that would be something that would be
I mean, like if somebody did my laundry, I probably would not complain, but also that is babying. That's next level of babying.
Yeah, it is.
Offering like a bit of food, that doesn't feel too far down the babysitting route. But doing somebody's laundry like their mum, that is ridiculous.
Dropping your laundry off on a morning and picking it up as you leave.
How do they learn any life skills there?
I don't know. Imagine joining a company like that straight out of uni and then not having to pay for
You
food,
would not learn any
doing
life
your
skills.
laundry.
You wouldn't know how to make a proper meal, prep, wash your own knickers. That's awful. Imagine bringing that into work.
Yeah, I bet people have got no shame as well.
That is so odd. I've never heard that. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah, it makes me question where the value should sit. I think it's different, isn't it, when you're talking about a company that is the size of like a Google or Microsoft.
Yeah, and like you said, they do operate in that, like, it is like its own campus and it's got all these things that's very self-contained, but there's a difference between having those things there for people to do conveniently. So like if you wanted, having restaurants there for people to go grab it at lunch, or having somewhere there that you might be able to drop off something for dry cleaning, but then actually paying for it, that's, I don't know.
I really would like to speak to someone that has been made redundant and get their opinion on it.
Somebody that went in at quite an early level as well, somebody that almost went in as like a graduate level, because if they've gone straight into that world and sort of been handed all these things or had the hand held through so many areas of your life, what about the point then when it's all taken away? And quite unexpectedly for all these people.
What does that do to your expectations for your next role? Or is that part of the plan? Is that like,
that must be part
we're going
of
to
it.
give you so much that if you ever consider leaving, you're just not going to get the chance?
I mean, it's a clever tactic, because if you provide something that's not really then achievable by any other business, and people become so used to that lifestyle and they can't get away from it, then yes, it will work, but...
It just boggles my mind that it exists. But I guess if you look at it from their point of view, and you've got like your 10 big, your Twitter, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, they're all probably competing for the same talent pool.
Oh, yeah.
So then one doesn't do it, it's going to be less attractive to the people that they're trying to employ.
How do you think that affects people's like work-life balance? You know, if you have the opportunity to have breakfast at work, lunch at work, and dinner at work, where do you leave?
I'd love to see some data on the length of time people spend on campus versus a similar company that doesn't have the same level of perk.
It's very all-consuming, is that? Because also, did you say transport?
Yep, to and
Right. So if you're getting on a bus in the morning with people that you work with, you're probably going to chat about work. You get in there, you sat with those people having breakfast, you're going to chat about work. At lunch, you're not leaving this space to, like, we'd go into town maybe and go for a walk or something. So you sat with these same people, you're talking about work. You get to the end of the day, you're having dinner with these same people, you're talking about work. You're getting on that bus to go home with the same people, you are still chatting about it.
It's starting to sound like a cult.
Yeah, massively. Like, the only bit is when you're asleep. If you are, if people are taking full advantage and doing, and there will be some, it won't be everybody, but there'll be individuals that are there from early doors right up until quite late
I
on.
bet it's not uncommon for people to sleep there as well.
They have like sleep pods, don't they? But do they have like proper?
I bet like when something's on or they're like exceptionally busy for whatever reason, there will be people that spend 24 hours there.
Elon Musk was putting rooms in, wasn't he, for people sleeping?
He's
that's a whole
He's in a world of his
episode.
own though, isn't he?
Well, let's not go into that now, but yeah, he was doing that. So yeah, I bet there is stuff like that. Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's pretty intense.
It's a lot.
On the odd occasion that I have been on like a train with somebody from work, and this sounds really bad, but it's not like I don't like the individual or like whoever it is or whatever else. It's just if I see them going towards my train, I'd go further away because I quite like to just sit on the train, read my book, or put my headphones in. I don't really want to chat to somebody, and there's that like forced thing where you do have to, don't you? If you're with them. But that's your time, that's like my time to switch off. Sounds awful, that, doesn't it?
No, I get it. I totally get it. And I think that environment, like you've just described, where you travel into work, at work, you come home from work. Let's say that window is like a 10, 12-hour window. Don't leave much time for anything else, does it?
No, do you need much time for anything else if somebody else is doing your washing?
No.
And you don't have to make a packed lunch for the next day, or...
Yeah. I bet the use of holiday and all sorts just goes down.
Oh, yeah. I bet that's a right shock, isn't it? You know, if you have a couple of days off. I wonder if people, just take it all home, you know, to see them through the weekend.
Yeah. Can I have 6 meals?
Yeah.
Can you just make sure you've got the bag of laundry sorted?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, be interesting to keep an eye on that, I think.
Yeah.
And see what people's response is to, if they're, people that are still employed there, what their response is to them cutting back some of the benefits.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a reset for big tech, for sure.